Iliad, a tale of a legend. The wind carried the scent of the Aegean Sea to the golden shores of Troy, mixing with the stench of war. The final days of the Trojan War were near, and even the gods had descended from Olympus to shape fate. This war began when Paris, the prince of Troy, took Helen, wife of King Menelaus of Sparta. Humiliated, Menelaus joined forces with his powerful brother, Agamemnon, gathering Greece's mightiest warriors. But this war was no longer just about Helen. The greatest warrior among the Greeks was Achilles, the son of the goddess Thetis. It was said he was invincible except for his heel. His courage struck fear into his enemies, and his rage knew no bounds. In the 10th year of the war, a great quarrel erupted between Achilles and Agamemnon. The Greeks had taken Chrysis, daughter of Apollo's priest, as a captive. Her father begged for her release, but Agamemnon refused. In anger, Apollo sent a deadly plague upon the Greek camp. As soldiers fell to illness, the seer Calchas revealed that Agamemnon must return Chrysis to stop the plague. Agamemnon agreed, but demanded Achilles' prize, Chrysis, in return. This was an unbearable insult. Furious, Achilles drew his sword to kill Agamemnon, but the goddess Athena appeared. "Control your anger," she whispered. "Your great victory is yet to come." Achilles vowed never to fight again. Without Achilles, the Greek army struggled against the Trojans. Seizing the opportunity, Troy's greatest warrior, Prince Hector, led his forces forward. With unmatched bravery, he pushed the Greeks back, setting their ships ablaze. Desperate to save his comrades, Achilles' closest friend, Patroclus, put on Achilles' armor and entered the battle. The Greeks, thinking Achilles had returned, found new strength and drove the Trojans back. But Hector soon discovered the truth. In a fierce duel, he slew Patroclus, believing him to be Achilles. When the news reached Achilles, he fell to his knees in grief. His sorrow turned to fury, and he swore vengeance. His mother, Thetis, brought him a new set of armor, forged by the god Hephaestus himself. At dawn, Achilles stormed the Trojan gates, his rage burning like fire. He called out for Hector to face him in single combat. Knowing his fate, Hector bid farewell to his family and took up his sword. The duel was fierce, and the people of Troy watched from the walls in silence. Hector fought valiantly, but the gods had chosen Achilles to win. With a mighty thrust, Achilles drove his spear into Hector's chest. As Hector lay dying, he begged Achilles to return his body to his family. But Achilles, blinded by rage, refused. Instead, he tied Hector's body to his chariot. Achilles dragged Hector's body around the walls of Troy. That night, the aged King Priam of Troy crept into Achilles' tent. He knelt before the warrior and begged for his son's body. As Achilles looked into the old king's tearful eyes, he was reminded of his own father. For the first time, his rage softened. With sorrow in his heart, he returned Hector's body. The war paused for a moment to honor the fallen hero. But though the Iliad ends here, the fall of Troy was near. Soon, the cunning Odysseus would devise a plan, the wooden horse, and the mighty city of Troy would finally fall. This was the story of Achilles' wrath, of heroism and war. As Homer once told, it was a legend that time could never erase.